Hey guys, Matthew here, joined by Liv, and it is that time of the year, or every 2 years as it seems now. It is time on the Who Addicts to review a series finale of Doctor Who. Always an interesting time of year. It's it's always ends up having some sort of controversial, some sort of interesting opinion. Like Hellbent, and finales, in all seriousness, always, for me personally, I don't know about you, Liv, always have such a big bearing on my thoughts on a series, on an arc. Last series left me feeling so flat and so down, and sort of left me into 2019 with nothing to really cling on to. So this was a big finale. We've had a lot going on this series. So where do we start with this one?
Can I just quickly say something before we got onto the review?
No.
That's been playing on my mind.
Go on then.
Well, I am, but anyway. The comments on our last review were absolutely disgraceful by people that you haven't got anything nice to say. Well, the problem is, don't say it all. And also what angers me the most is that we have an opinion on an episode. Everybody that reviews Doctor Who has an opinion on an episode. So why these people feel the need to get personal about things, so it's completely out of order.
I completely agree.
So no more of it, and you are going to start doing that, well, you're not going to be able to watch this channel. Banned and blocked.
Yes.
So well done to you guys.
We may as well address this now, as this is obviously a review of a finale, which always brings out controversial thoughts and opinions. And it's quite incredible how personal people take it when other people don't agree with them about a TV show. You know, Doctor Who, it's our favourite TV show, but it's a TV show. So when somebody doesn't like the same thing you don't like, or when someone has a different opinion, some people take it too far, and
It's ridiculous.
They start attacking you personally, and I mean, they are keyboard warriors who would never say it to your face. If they did say it to the face, they'd get a smack around the mouth. It's people who hide behind keyboards, and the world's full of trolls. But yeah, I agree with Liv. We get the dislike brigade every video, who we have 20 plus dislikes before the video's even been up 2 minutes. We get the same people commenting the same stuff every single week. And you're wasting your time really. It's sad, and if you do comment personal things, first of all, why do you watch us if you don't like our opinions? Why do you watch?
Exactly.
If you just don't comment and unsubscribe, why feel the need to jump on, watch anyway, and then comment something disrespectful? If you disagree with our opinions and put it in a respectful manner, that's absolutely
fine.
perfect.
That's absolutely fine.
But yeah, we last couple of videos, there's been a few personal comments which we've had to block, and never thought to address that, Liv.
No,
so fair play.
I just wanted to.
Well, there we go. So, talking of controversial, what are our thoughts on the finale, The Timeless Children?
I'll let you go first, because I always go first. So I'm going to let you go first today, babe.
Okay. I thought it was a good finale. The actual storyline of the episode, the plot of the actual finale with the Master and the Cybermen and the Doctor, I thought was fantastic, to be honest. I thought it was a fantastic finale. But, and this is the elephant in the room, it has been slightly tarnished. It will always have a blemish across it for me whenever I look back at it, because there is a large part of that whole episode which I want to just wipe from my memory and just pretend it didn't happen, and I can go on with my Doctor Who day like it wasn't even a thing. And that is The Timeless Child. Now, we won't delve too deeply into that yet, but I think if you take The Timeless Child out of this episode, it's a fantastic finale. A really, really good finale. But putting The Timeless Child in there, one, I didn't like it. Well, in fact, I hated it. Let's not beat around the bush. 2, it didn't really affect the plot anyway. It felt unnecessary. The episode would have been no different without it. And yeah, it's just sort of left a dark blemish across the episode, which, like I said, other than that, was very, very good. What about you?
Oh, here we go. I was really enjoying it at the start. Really enjoying it. So I wouldn't go as you were saying, it was a fantastic episode. Without the timeless child bollocks, I'm going to call it bollocks, into it. But when that happened, it just threw me out. Now, I hate episodes that confuse you. You know me well enough by now that I hate episodes that just confuse the life out of me, and this is what it did. So I was left with so many questions after that timeless child utter bollocks right there. So I was thinking, so are we allowed to even call her the doctor anymore now? Is this where it's going to? And I also felt like the Cybermen were utterly wasted in a bit of this.
Interesting. We'll certainly talk about the Cybermen, because I've got some thoughts on them.
But a positive and a real positive, I freaking love Sacha Dhawan's master.
Oh, yes.
I absolutely love him.
He was just... Let's start with Sacha Dhawan's master, can we please?
So I said, when we were reviewing the first 2 episodes, that guy is my favourite master. And them words I still stand by. He is absolutely everything you want from a master and more. He is phenomenal. What an actor. What an actor.
He stole the show for me.
Unbelievable.
He stole the episode. Sacha Dhawan's performance was incredible.
He's twisted in every bit. Or that you'd think a master would be twisted by. He's absolutely, he's amazing.
I think there was a line he said where he said, red like the blood of our people. And I was like, oh my God. He come out, and it's not only that, he's evil and he's twisted and he's mentally insane. But he's also funny and quirky, and he's just everything you'd want from a master. I thought Sacha Dhawan in this episode stole the show. Even more so, he outshone Jodie.
Yes.
I thought he was so strong and so unbelievably awesome. I thought Sacha Dhawan was incredible.
Now, that from a master performance is like what you'd expect.
He was brilliant.
He's twisted, funny, quirky lines, but he's absolutely off his trolley.
Yeah.
But my favourite master, hands down, he has got to be, after that performance, unbelievable.
He was incredible.
Unbelievable.
I mean, what did you think of the fact that he'd destroyed... I mean, we know why he destroyed the timeless child, which we'll get onto, elephant in the room and all. But what did you think of his idea of turning all the dead Time Lords into these cyber Time Lords? I mean, they looked unbelievable. They looked so good. I couldn't believe it. When they walked out, I was like, oh my God, what are they?
Yeah.
I mean, what an idea that is.
It is an idea.
Especially when he demonstrated it, when one of the Cybermen was shot and it regenerated and then stood back up again. It's like the ultimate killing machine. It was fantastic. What a great idea.
So, like last week, so I was kind of worried. So when the master showed up in the end, so just because lately, lately with Cybermen episodes, the master's always involved somehow.
Yes, the Cybermen are his bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
And have been since series 8.
Yeah. Because there I was just like kind of worried, thinking, oh, that's a shame because actually, so what I was wanting was just a Cyberman performance.
Yeah.
I do still feel part of that way.
Okay.
that the Cybermen were initially forgotten about.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, the Cyber Time Lords were amazing.
They hardly killed enough people for me.
Yeah, that was my problem. With the Master playing such a prominent part and stealing the show, the Cybermen did sort of suffer. I thought the Lone Cyberman was really, really good. I thought he was sort of an equal to the Master. But the actual Cyber soldiers just reminded me of Stormtroopers. They were just shooting a lot.
Bang, bang,
and they
bang.
look awesome, but they have a terrible shot on them.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
And we'll get onto the sidecast, but the one small gripe I had, at the start of it, I thought that a few of them were going to get killed off when the girl was killed off at the start. But I think it would have just and even though it wasn't a prime part of the episode, or the most important part, the priority, I would have just liked them foot soldier Cybermen to have just killed another couple of people.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know who they were. I don't know if that means some of the other sidecast or even a companion. I would have liked to have seen them actually kill more people, because all they did other than that was get blew up and have terrible shot.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, that's the only thing with the new Cybermen. They were sort of just trigger happy, and they didn't do much else.
The Master's bitch, as you call them.
The Masters.
They are in a way.
Yeah.
And like at the start, so when I was saying that they were wasted, they kind of were.
Yeah, they were in a way, but I guess in another perspective, if you've got so much going on, it's hard in a way. But I think
that's always the worry.
Just by them killing a couple of people, I think would have just added a little bit more to them, and that'd have been enough.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you can't expect them to have been the forefront of the entire episode.
Yeah.
But no, I thought they were all right. The Lone Cyberman was good. I especially liked the scene where the four of them hidden in the cyber suits.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
The Lone Cyberman was seeing if there was anybody
that
there,
was really
and
good.
that was a very intense scene, like a horror movie sort of scene.
Yeah, that was really good. I
thought that was really good, but I guess the main gripe is they didn't kill enough.
Yeah.
Which is the only issue. What do you think of the cyber Time Lords then? The Time Lord Cybermen. I thought they were an amazing idea, and I hope that's not the end of them.
They are an amazing idea, but yet again, so I was kind of disappointed that they didn't go off and start killing people, maybe being kind of dangerous. Except from staying with the Master, being the Master's bitch, as you've said.
Exactly. I mean, what got me as well was, I thought, were all the Cybermen on Gallifrey? Because, obviously, when everything was destroyed at the end, surely that wasn't all the Cybermen.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'd be more Cybermen that didn't come through, so I wasn't too sure about that. But, no, the Cybermen were okay. The Lone Cyberman was good, but completely outshone by Sacha Dawn's incredible Master. What about the good guys then? Even though she spent half the episode paralysed and asleep, what did you think of the Doctor?
I don't know, because
I thought she was good, but
not great.
But she was outshone by Sacha Dawn.
Oh yes.
Unfortunately.
And this like in the Jadoon episode, so a lot of us were saying that Ruth is Doctor, so it felt like more of a Doctor than Jodie's as Heather did. So that's what she was good, not great, but what did it for me was that utter trash with the bloody timeless child thing. It just confused me.
We'll get to that,
because
don't you worry.
I look at it now and I'm thinking, are you the Doctor?
Hold your thoughts on the timeless child. We are teasing the viewers. But no, I thought she was good. I think she was good. She was fine. There was none of the usual exposition or rambly stuff, and I thought
funny lines.
I thought her chemistry, like Jodie and Sasha's chemistry, is brilliant. When them two are together, they are fantastic.
That at the start, So I thought that was brilliant. I absolutely loved them facing off with each other. I was like, come on, Geordie.
They're a brilliant Doctor Master dynamic.
I think they work so well. Just because with Sacha Baron's Master, he's so goddamn evil.
Yeah.
He is so evil. So evil.
I think they're a fantastic pairing, and they work well off each other.
Yeah.
And I thought, at times, it was good to see Jodie's Doctor get as angry and as wound up and frustrated as she did. I thought she put in quite a good performance.
The parts of her
it is
I
easy.
like.
Yeah, I think she was. I think with Jodie, in part she was fantastic.
Yeah.
Whereas with Sacha, he was fantastic from start to finish. And I think as great as they are in terms of a chemistry, they're up there with one of the best Doctor Master dynamics I think we've had. I think because Sacha is just such a presence on screen, often, sometimes, he can outshine the 13th Doctor.
Much, yeah.
Which is a shame in a way, because when you think of 10 and John Sim, they were an equal.
Yeah.
12 and Missy were sort of an equal. And I think sometimes when I've got Geordie and Sacha together in a scene, I'm always glued to Sacha. On his every word, his every action, his every facial expression. Geordie, not as much. So that's, I guess, the only thing I can say about that. But other than that, I thought the 13th Doctor was pretty good.
So I always look at him and think, you would have made a great Doctor. You would have made a fantastic Doctor.
Yes.
If only.
He was rumoured. He has been rumoured. But he was, as we said, fantastic. And Geordie, good?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
What about the companions then? Because there was a lot going on, as we've seen many times in the finale, in the series. When there's a lot going on, there's a lot of side characters. The companions can sometimes fall away a little bit and sort of get lost within the episode. What did you think of the three of them?
I'm disappointed that we didn't see one of them leave.
That was my next question. Were you disappointed, or were you surprised that all three of them came out of it unscathed?
Not surprised at all. I'm not surprised. From these rumoured pictures of the New Year's Day special, I wasn't surprised, but I was kind of disappointed. But apart from that, they were good. I especially liked Yaz and Graham's thing at the beginning.
They had a lovely scene.
That was lovely. That
early on, where Graham was just saying how proud he is of Yaz and
that was lovely.
And I think that sort of personifies her actual character. When he said how far you've come and everything like that. I think Graham's basically speaking our mind as well. Yaz has come so far.
Bang on.
I like the scene especially when they stood outside the boundary, and they're all stood there in a line, and Yaz is the one who just walks through.
Yeah.
She doesn't even care. She doesn't stop. She walks through it not knowing if she'll survive, going through the other side, doesn't know what she's walking into. There could be a legion of Cybermen there. She is fearless. And what I think Graham basically explained my exact thoughts on Yaz. Yeah. She's fearless. She has become such a great character this series.
Yes.
I think she's been a revelation.
I agree.
Graham was good too.
As always.
Solid. What about Ryan? Because he's been the weak link a lot this series. What do you think?
He didn't really do much again for me.
He hit a hoop.
He hit a hoop. Sorry, I'm going to cough.
I think that might have been the whole dyspraxia thing coming full circle when he had to throw the bomb in there. That's what I got from that. But
that was it.
He was all right. I think he did a little bit more than what he has done, which he has to do that. It's the finale.
But I am disappointed that we're going into the New Year's Day special and then possibly Series 13 with them three companions still. Like, come on, change it up a little bit. I think we'll lose one in the New Year's special. I think there might have been just a little bit too much going on if we'd lost a companion. Now looking at the overall episode, I agree with that. I think losing a companion on top of everything else, the Doctor would have probably had a mental breakdown. So I think there wasn't really a place for it in this episode. I will be disappointed or surprised if we don't lose one in
Revolution of the Daleks.
Yes.
Ooh. I did particularly like the scene at the very end when the Doctor's going back from the TARDIS to basically sacrifice herself. I thought that was a great scene between her and the companions.
Yeah, that was good.
Yaz again was the one who stepped forward.
Yeah.
And was basically saying, "You're not doing this."
Yeah.
Ryan then turns on and goes, "Yaz, come on."
Go on.
Come on. But yeah, that was another scene I particularly liked.
It's a brilliant impression of Ian.
Thank you very much.
That's brilliant.
So, yeah, I think we can agree that the whole plot with the Cyber Time Lords, the Master, and what he wanted to do with all the people he destroyed, turning them into Arista Cybermen, was awesome.
Good, yes. Yes.
Shall we now talk about the elephant in the room?
Go on then.
Because there was another part of this episode. A part of the episode which answered possibly the biggest question that we've asked in Doctor Who in quite a few years. Who is the Timeless Child? Mm-hmm. Now, I wasn't 100% sure we would find out in this episode. I thought they might have carried it on, but I thought this could have been something they might have ran with for quite a long time.
Yes.
Because I wasn't sure if it had a place in this episode. Turns out it didn't, really. And we found out who the Timeless Child was. And the Timeless Child was the Doctor. Meaning, as we saw from the flashbacks and the sequence in The Matrix, the Doctor is not from Gallifrey. The Doctor fell through a portal from another planet, which we don't know of. And the Doctor had 12 or 13 regenerations before William Hartnell. The rumour, the theory that there was another cycle beforehand has been confirmed. And I hate the idea.
So do I. So do I.
Now, if it would have meant something to the episode, I might have bought into it a little bit more. But you could take this out of the episode and it wouldn't make a single solitary difference.
I agree. All
it did was it allowed the Doctor to use all these memories to burst out of the Matrix. But she could have done that anyway. Surely 1,200-year-old, or however old she is from Hartnell to now, she has all them memories. Surely that would have broken out the Matrix anyway.
Yeah.
So, the Doctor is not from Gallifrey. And and had a whole regenerative cycle before William Hartnell. I hate that.
I am furious with Chibnall, to be honest. Like, furious.
It's not... They could have at least made it necessary to this episode. They could have at least made it necessary to the story arc, or made it necessary to the plot, but they didn't. What is the reason they've done this? What has it added? It's not added anything.
I kind of feel that all is utter bollocks.
It's like they've done it for the sake of doing it, just because they can. There's no actual logistical reason for it.
Exactly like Moffat would do.
It didn't make a single difference to the episode.
It is exactly what Moffat would have done. But what pisses me off the most is that I feel this utter trash messes with the history of the show, and that's not right. It also, to me, kind of disrespects Hartnell as the first Doctor. And what confused me even more, where the hell did Ruth's Doctor play into all of this? There's just so many unanswered questions in my head about all of this. It just doesn't work. Like at first when the story started, so I was saying, right, that's Ruth's Doctor. That's the Timeless Child, that's Ruth's Doctor. And then all of a sudden he said the Timeless Child to you. I was like, oh my God. Oh, Chip, why do it, Chip, now?
See, someone tweeted us and said it doesn't change anything because the Doctor and the name of the Doctor, or the pledge of being the Doctor, was only started by Hartnell, so he technically is still the first Doctor because he's the one who took on that name. But he isn't, because and this wasn't, forgive me if I'm wrong, I don't know if I missed something or if it was just badly explained in the episode, but are we to believe that Ruth was before she was the Doctor during that whole regenerative thing?
That's what I'm confused about.
Was she the Doctor who was on, part of all them lives that woman was experimenting on? So she technically is before Hartnell, right?
It just makes no sense.
And if she
whatsoever.
is, then that means that Hartnell isn't the first Doctor. But then if she is, that means how the flipping heck does she have a TARDIS? Hartnell stole the TARDIS.
And also what I'm confused about. So in the Judoon episode...
It's a bloody mess. The whole thing.
In the Judoon episode, Ruth is Doctor. So when that woman didn't know about Gallifrey being destroyed. So now all of a sudden, they're meant to be... I don't know. I'm totally lost.
The whole thing is an absolute mess. And I know it makes the Morbius Doctors canon, and I know that's one of the longest theories that people have wanted an answer to. And I know there'll be a lot of people out there that love the idea, but I've said from day one, and I stand by it, if you're gonna do something like that, just at least do it for a reason.
Exactly.
But I can't see an underlying reason for why he's done this. Has he done it just for the sake of it? Because, like I said, it didn't affect the episode at all. It didn't take anything away or add anything. It just helped the Doctor burst out the Matrix. After that, she just cracked on with things. So, what does this add? Unless they're going to follow it up in Series 13 and explore it more. I just don't know. I don't know what this adds, or it just feels hollow. It doesn't have any substance to it.
It's just a mess.
It feels unnecessary.
It's just a mess.
That's the word I'll use, unnecessary.
It's just an utter
please,
mess.
Chibnall, justify why you've done this, other than because I can and I want to just lay my stamp on the show. I mean, you certainly have, mate, but I personally think it's a terrible idea.
Like something Moffat would do. Like, why can't we have a nice finale that's action-packed?
Without this, it would have been a perfect finale.
Without all this utter trash, it adds... Oh! Chibnall!
See,
I am losing my mind over this because I'm so confused. It just does not work. So why do it?
See, because it's... And again, I don't know if we've missed this or if it was just badly explained. I still don't know where Ruth fits in.
I don't.
But I now don't feel like Hartnell is the first Doctor.
No, I don't.
So I'm turning and looking at my Doctor Who DVDs right now, and I feel like I've been lied to. But I just feel like if you're going to do it, you've got to have a reason behind it. And the show's called Doctor Who.
Yes.
It's always been called Doctor Who. That question mark. Who is this time traveller? Who is this man? Who is this woman who travels around time and space? Now, we always get cool little tidbits of who the Doctor is, which is absolutely fine. And when we do, it's awesome. It's like a big deal when we find out the tiniest thing about the Doctor. It's like, oh, because the beauty of this character is that we have travelled with this character for 57 years and we still don't know the singlest most ounce about them.
Exactly.
You might as well rename the show The Timeless Child.
Exactly.
Why have we delved so deep into the Doctor's past and the Doctor's history? Sometimes things are just best being left alone. And sometimes if you twist things and you turn things too much, you break them. And I just feel like the whole point of the character and the whole point of the show, it's Doctor Who. It's a mystery. And I feel like delving this deep into the character, pretty much getting a biography of the Doctor's earlier life, it's just too much. Plus, the Doctor's not even from Gallifrey anymore.
Exactly.
I mean, am I wrong? Or is the Doctor not from Gallifrey anymore?
Gallifrey anymore?
That's not the Doctor's home planet.
No. It just... What was the point? What was the point in saving Gallifrey then?
It's ridiculous.
If that's not her own planet, see, this is a problem. They don't think of the history of the goddamn bloody show. So when they do these stupid ideas into a finale, it's ridiculous.
It's a real shame. Because other than that, I thought this was a fantastic finale. But the Timeless Child, they should have either left it out of this finale, because, let's be honest, this finale had enough.
It did have enough going on.
It had the Master, it had the Cyber Time Lords, it had the Cybermen. It had enough to carry itself to a very, very good finale. It's not like it was lacking in something that needed it to be pushed into that extra gear to be good. It would have been awesome and was awesome without the Timeless Child. They should have either left it for another day, they should have maybe gradually, I don't know, revealed it over time, or dedicated an episode to it. Because the point I'm making, and I will say it again, if you're gonna do this, you've got to justify why you're doing it. And they've not justified it at all. It was there for the sake of being there. It didn't help or hinder the episode at all. It did hinder the episode, because I'm now going to look back on this episode and think of that and be like, it was awesome, but that sort of ruined it. The Timeless Child.
Bollocks. Utter bollocks.
It's an absolute horror of a story arc ending. I mean, it's up there with the Hybrid for me as just an absolute dross of a story arc. It really is. I honestly, it is. I honestly thought they were gonna stretch this out over time. I didn't expect them to just get it over and done with in the finale, and then it's just been executed in an awful way, resolved in an awful way.
I really do love you in these situations. It's so funny.
I'm not saying it's not hell bent. It's not hell bent.
It's not hell bent
by no stretch. But my God, it's a bloody dross.
Well.
I'm going to take. What was that pill they had in Torchwood which wiped your memory? I can't really remember, but I'm going to take whatever that is and pretend that I never ever saw that happening. I'm going to pretend the Timeless Child didn't exist. I'm going to pretend it was never a thing. And every time I rewatch this finale, I'm going to simply skip them bits.
Yeah.
Because they were terrible. And I'm going to pretend that there was nothing before Hartnell. He was the first Doctor, and that is that. The show will remain to be called Doctor Who, not the Timeless Child.
Ratings.
I've not ranted in a while, that felt good.
I think ratings we should
yes,
be going on now.
Actually, no, look. There was actually more after that. There was obviously the ending where the Doctor went back.
Oh, yes.
And I really like this ending, when the Doctor, basically, like I said about the scene with the companions, I thought that was awesome. When the Doctor went back, faced the Master and the Time Lords, and was faced with a moment, pardon the pun, a moment like the moment.
Yeah.
Where she was faced, and I'm surprised they didn't write this dialogue into the actual scene, she was faced with genocide again.
Mm-hmm.
If she presses that button, she kills off a brand new species. Not only... I was going to say, kills off her people, but it's not really her people, is it? No, because she's not from Gallifrey. For God's sake. But she was faced with a moment where she was almost like in the Time War, she was faced with a genocide once again. And I like how she thought that she'd sussed it out, but the Master had basically left it as a trap. Because I thought at first, why has he left the Cybermen with that death thing in his chest? Why has he left it on the floor? But he did it to test the Doctor, to see if she could actually go through with it. What did you think of that whole scene and that whole sequence? I thought it was really awesome. Would she do it? Well, she obviously wasn't going to do it, but...
So I knew straight away that she wouldn't do it. I knew she wouldn't do it straight away.
I just thought maybe we could be in for a shock. Like, maybe she does do it and they leave it as a cliffhanger there. I thought they might do that. But I thought that was an awesome end. That was fantastic.
I'm also kind of sad that that's the end for Sacha Dhawan's Master now.
Well, it might not be.
I hope not.
It probably won't be. The Master always pops up and just goes, "I survived." That's how. Without explanation. That's the Master's forte. But I thought that was an awesome end. What did you think of that man coming back and basically taking it off the Doctor, and she sort of let him do it quite easily, didn't she?
Yeah.
Go on, mate. It's the only way they could sort of get around it, I guess.
Yeah, true.
So it made sense. And then, after Gallifrey, as we seemingly believe, has been destroyed again, poor Gallifrey does go through some trauma, doesn't it? It really does, the poor thing. Just when we think the Doctor's going to go and reunite with the fam...
She gets arrested!
She gets arrested because the Jadoon are still chasing her as the fugitive. Now, I was so happy that we got a cliffhanger. Because one of my big gripes about last series was we didn't get a cliffhanger.
That was good.
Something to grab onto and take us in to the next episode.
That was good.
Which is a Dalek story.
Yay!
Revolution of the Daleks.
Don't ruin this one, Chibnall. Don't ruin this one.
I personally thought that was a fantastic ending. I'm so glad. It's like Chibnall listened to us. I'm so glad they put a cliffhanger in at the end.
Yes.
The Doctor doesn't have a TARDIS. Doesn't have the companions are back home. She's stranded in a prison, and the Daleks are somehow coming. I think that's awesome.
Brilliant.
An awesome cliffhanger. So let's conclude then.
Ready.
So I thought overall, as a finale, as an episode, it was a very, very good one. I thought, apart from the Cybermen being a little bit like stormtroopers and not really killing enough, or not doing enough damage. I thought they looked awesome. The Lone Cyberman was awesome, especially the Cyber Time Lords. They were incredible. Jodie was good. The companions were good, but Sacha Dhawan absolutely stole the show for me.
Absolutely.
I thought the episodes had some really awesome moments. I thought it had a really awesome end and an awesome cliffhanger, but it will be always forever blemished by the canon-destroying Timeless Child story arc, which I despise and will just erase from my memory.
Yes.
Because I think it does more harm than good, and it did no good for this episode or Doctor Who at all. It's like a pointless experiment that's gone horribly wrong that we're just going to brush under the carpet and forget about. So unfortunately that does bring the episode down. So I'm still going to give it an 8.
Wow, that is kind of high, Matthew.
I'm still going to give it...
I wasn't expecting an 8.
I'm still going to give it... No, I think the rest of it deserves a decent score, but The Timeless Child is... I'll give
an
it...
8 is a bit high, I would say, but it's your own opinion, Dan. So you rate an 8, you can stick with it an 8.
I'll drop it to a 7.5.
Okay.
Because the more I think of The Timeless Child, and the more I think it's just going to drop towards 1. So while I've got 7.5, and before I drop to a 7, I'm going to forget about The Timeless Child and say 7.5.
Hellbent. What? Do you remember what you rated Hellbent?
I actually rated Hellbent a 4.
Wow.
Which I look back on and think, what was I thinking? Hellbent doesn't even get a 1. Hellbent gets a -1. This got nowhere near that. I mean, if it was a whole episode of The Timeless Child, it would have probably been. And now I've thought about The Timeless Child again. I'm going to drop my rating to a 7. Let's stop talking about it now before I drop it even lower. 7.
Let's turn then.
Flipping chance.
Let's turn then.
Jesus.
Wow. Oh, here we go.
Might give it 6.5.
No.
No, 7. Draw a line, 7.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Please get on with your conclusion before I drop it lower.
Oh. I'm giving it a 6.
That's not too bad. Knowing you, I was expecting you to come out with a 2 or something.
I was going to give it a 5.
Oh.
But I moved it up a point for Sacha Dhawan's Master.
Fair enough.
That deserves the biggest point. Apart from that, I did enjoy some of it, but when you put a stupid arc that just doesn't work and messes with the history of the show, it just tarnishes everything out the window. Yes,
it does.
And that's what disappoints me. So I'm giving it a 6. It would have been a 5, but I'm giving it a 6.
That's a fair score.
I would think it was a fair score.
Yeah, definitely.
I would think it was a fair score.
So guys, that is it then. That is our final Series 12 review. Wow. Now, we are going to bring much more post-Series 12 content to you guys. We've got a Series 12 review. We've got videos on the 13th Doctor. We've got the usual episode ranking, series ranking, best possible series, worst possible series. We've got Dalek rankings, Cybermen rankings, Master rankings, you name it. We've got a lot of stuff planned in the post-Series 12 hiatus.
And also, the best news of all, the retro reviews are returning.
The retro reviews will be returning too. We've got plenty to come in the... We're not going to be buggering off again, or changing the channel's name again, or anything like that. We've got plenty of stuff to come, so if you are excited for that and you haven't already, do subscribe. Other than that though, hit the like button if you've enjoyed this review. Comment below, of course, your thoughts, and please do be kind in the comment section below.
Please do.
Opinions are our own and we respect yours too. And other than that, you can follow us across all the socials, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And we'll be back in our next video, which, well, you'll have to find out what that is. You can only do that by sticking with us on the socials. But until then, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.